seated. The rejoicing over the one that had gone astray was found is a profound rejoicing. It is a rejoicing on earth and in heaven. Those who seek out the lost, those who are shepherds among us, that will seek out the lost ones and not be content to hang out with just the 99 in their bake sales and in their fire practices and in their knitting circles, but rather to go venture out into the wilderness of this world, into the highways and byways and into the clefts and crevices, to be able to find those who had gone astray and bring them back. We are told that the 99, the one that went astray, is an innocent one. Is one who is just lost his little way and is out there among the wolves waiting to be devoured. But what if he had it in his mind that he was going to go and just run away? He's sick of this flock. He's sick of this shepherd. He's sick of this world. He doesn't like his life anymore. And I'm going out to find a new way. I'm going to rebel. I'm going to go whatever. So it takes a considerable effort that once being found, we assume that the shepherd is the one who goes out and finds the innocent lamb, carries it on his shoulders. What if the lamb doesn't want to come back? If he wants to be out there with the wolves, take his chances. If he wants to be a street dweller and live out there, he'd rather live out there among the danger and the risk than to come back and rejoin the 99. What if he just wants to be out there? Take his chances. So, well, that's not sane, that's not reasonable. He must be out of his mind, he must be crazy. He must have something must be wrong with him. Something is hurting him that has made him want to be like that. You say, well, what happened to you? My mother beat me. My father beat me. My father abandoned me, my mother died. I just don't know what to do, I don't care anymore. Really? Why don't you come back with us and we'll help you? No, I'm just, forget about it. If the wolves get me, they get me. If I fall off the cliff, I fall off the cliff. I don't care. I really don't care. If I die out here alone, total, I don't care. Is it true that you really don't care, little lamb? Or are you just angry? Are you just angry at the flock? Angry at your mother, your father? Angry at the system that's stacked against you so that you just don't feel like you're worth saving? That you're worth someone going out of the way to come and seek and find you and bring you back into safety, into the flock? No, I don't think so. The argument can be made. How often have we heard it? Why don't you come into the church? Why don't you come in? Oh, I don't care. I'm damned, you know. Are you really damned? Do you want to be damned? Is that the issue? Say, well, I don't really believe that the church is a place for safety and salvation. I just think I'm going to go my own way. Well, all right. But no, the Good Shepherd is ready to brave the wolves himself to prove to that lamb that he is worth saving. To go the extra effort to convince, to provoke understanding in that one that had gone astray is so hurt, so upset, so angry, so apathetic that it doesn't care if he dies or not. If I die, I die. Then we also assume that this innocent lamb that is going out into the hills to be give itself to the wolves, or fall off the cliff, or jump off the cliff, or get caught, or just die out there of starvation. We assume that it just wants to be a victim. But what if that lamb has turned evil and has turned out to be a perpetrator and seeking out a wolf? The fox over there, go get him. I'll call a couple of them over here. You can get them. That's my deal with you. You let me alone, I'll prosper, and you can have the other wolves. I'll set them up. You can have the other sheep. So there's an element of sedition and betrayal. What is it that will compel one to betray his own brothers and set them up for certain death by the wolves? You say, well, that's an insane idea. Well, does it ever happen? Do we know people who will set you up and set you up for a fall? Lured you into a place so you could be robbed and jumped on by the robbers? Thieves? Those who will do you harm? Do we know of those sense of betrayers, those traitors who betray the flock and say, no, they don't know what they're talking about. They're full of it. Leave the... Here, I'll show you. They're so gullible. If I call them and say, hey, come over here, this is good stuff, they'll come and you can have that. There's that element too. So the good shepherd who goes out to seek the one that was lost finds that the one that was lost has turned his heart into a different situation. A situation of actual sin against the rest of the flock. So what would the good shepherd do in this case? Would he take out his sword and slay that lamb right there? Or would he say, well, go ahead and jump off the cliff, starve yourself to death, I don't care anymore? That shepherd is going to want to get into the head of that lost one and try even harder to bring them back. So by example, think he should hit him on the head, knock him unconscious, and force him to come back to the flock? Compel him under force? Or is he going to recognize the free will of that one who went astray to go astray and die if he wants to? Well, if you want to die, I'd rather you live. But if you are dead set on killing yourself, go ahead. See what happens. But I'm not going to allow you to betray the 99. I will stop you. There are those who have abandoned Christianity and set themselves up to be enemies of Christ for the same insane reason we just described. They're angry at their life, therefore they're angry at God. Because they're angry at their life and God, they don't care about anybody else's life. They've abandoned all sense of reason and abandoned all sense of propriety towards others. Jesus says, love your enemy. And forgive. How many times would you forgive? Infinitely high. 7 times 70. Forgive them. Because what you bind on earth is bound in heaven. If you want to kill yourself, Jesus will let you kill yourself, but not for lack of his trying. If you want to abandon the church, you can abandon the church, but not for lack of my trying. If you want to go out and hurt one another and betray your brothers and sisters, St. Paul is very quick to tell you, That's St. John, that you're a liar. You're the enemy of Christ. You can't say you love God and love and hate your neighbor or your brother. When you do these things, you set yourself up. It's not something that is rational. A rational person does not do that. So therefore, you must not be in your right mind. Is that worthy of forgiveness? He says, well, yes. I can forgive it, unbind it. But if you choose to keep it bound, at some point, Jesus said, don't be like the tax collectors and the heathens. In other words, have nothing to do with that. Because you know that they're traitors, they will hurt you. And they've made their friends with those who would kill you, sell you fentanyl, do something to actually harm you, and your children, and your friends, and your neighbors. They're out there killing with indiscrimination. There are those who will try to talk you into doing something which you know goes contrary to common sense. And once you'll come out away from the other 99. At least we're 2 against the 98. At least we were 3 against the 98. Forget them. They don't know what work is. We know what work is. We've got the right idea. That shepherd's the one who doles out the food, takes us to the right grazing land. What if he takes us to the wrong grazing land? All these doubts, all these criticisms of that which is set up for pure goodness. Then, the one who has gone astray, who has betrayed his shepherd and his own flock, and his brothers and sisters, and say, you know what? All you people are like sheep. You know exactly what's going to happen to you in the end? You know what that shepherd is going to do? He's going to sell you to the butcher. Going to take it. Yeah. Going to take it. So, you foolish sheep, don't follow that good shepherd. He's not good. He's going to kill you in the end. And call it good. Oh, I'd rather face the wolves. I'd rather face the cliff. I'd rather face starvation and be on my own accord as to whether I'm going to survive or not survive. Oh, more God. Well, thank God that we're not sheep, right? We are human beings created in the image and likeness of God. But our understanding is not of God. It is of men. Our understanding, our wisdom, and our insight is dependent on our perspective on things. If the shepherd had told his sheep, stay with me, believe in me, and no matter what happens to you, you will live forever. I will give you eternal life. You will abide with me, and I in you forever. You shall never die again. We have bodies that wear out, and we put them down and go on our way somewhere else. Someone asked me, what is it like to die? And I said, well, for most people, it's like getting on a bus. Get on a bus, present your ticket, they say go sit down, you go sit down on the bus. You go to sleep, you wake up, you're someplace else. Just like that. Where are you? Well, depends, it depends. Because what you've done in this world and in this life determines where you end up in the next. So, the parable of the lost sheep is one that can be re-looked at. You say, well, I'm not the one who's lost. Yes, I've been lost, and somebody came and found me and offered me yet another chance. And I have rejected it. I ran off again. Did he come out again? Yes, he did. And yes, he will. And yes, we are. And yes, are you going to go out and find those who are lost and bring them back into the fold to the best of your ability? How are you going to do that? He says, well, trust in me, for my word is good. Trust in me, believe in me, and no matter what happens to you, if you ask anything in my name, if two of you ask it in my name, it is as if it is I. In other words, my power is your power, Jesus said. If you want access to the power of Jesus, believe in the power of Jesus. And find a friend who also believes. And if you're really persistent, you can find another one. And where two or more are gathered in his name, Jesus is there in his power. What power is it? The power over all reality. The power over all time. All dimensions of time. All revelation is in Jesus. That means all the revelation of God to man is in Jesus. And he will reveal himself to you and his aspects of himself, which we call virtues, that you can bring those aspects of divinity within yourself so that you might be patient. You might be the one who is humble. You might be the one who is pure in your heart. You might have compassion on the downtrodden. You might be able to say, well, I know they're hungry. I'm going to feed them. I know they're cold. I'm going to raise and get some blankets. I know they're lonely. I'm going to offer them companionship and community. These are divine attributes. The flock of the shepherd usually stays together out of safety and self-interest. They're not concerned about the roles of the other things. They're only concerned about their own flock and their own things. But we are, like we say, not sheep. We are sentient beings who are able to make choices and engage in a cause and effect relationship. Jesus, by these parables and by these teachings, by this gospel, and by the witness of his own life, is showing us a way so that you can follow that way and gain insight, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That if you come into belief in him, then you can follow him no matter what happens in this life, whenever and however. You will believe it, and nothing can shake that belief from you. Not suffering, not pain, not abandonment, not hunger or thirst, or injustice against us. Nothing. No principalities, no power, no weapons formed against us shall prosper, because we have faith in him. And in this faith, we have our own identity back. We who were lost have now been found. And come back and teach the rest of the flock what it's like to be lost, what it's like to be found, what it's like to surrender